Thank you all for your patience, and it looks like you're here. Welcome. We
Amazing.
did it. All right. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Thank you, Lindsay, for doing this. We have a great live planned for you this month. So, Lindsay, go ahead and introduce yourself. We've known each other a long time, but tell everyone who you are and what you do.
Hi, I'm Lindsey. I'm in Harriman, Utah. And I've been a primary music leader for about 3 years. I've served in primary for like my entire adult life. It seems like I'm just in there. And I love being in primary, and I also love teaching music. I have a degree in music education from BYU, and that's how Laura and I met. So we've been doing things together and working together, and she asked me to do this live today to help with some primary singing time, and I'm really excited to share with you.
Yes. So we talked about, okay, what ideas
So
could we share?
today we're gonna do a lot of Pioneer Day songs. So before I jump into our singing time, um, I'm gonna tell you how we set up the room on Pioneer Day. Pioneer Day is huge in Utah, and if you're not in Utah, it's a great time to celebrate the pioneers because we're learning it in Doctrine and Covenants. So you can do this day if you'd like. Take the chairs out of the room and set them up on the side and just lay down some pioneer quilts. And you can ask your primary presidency to help you with this. My primary presidency is awesome, and they're really willing to just go do these things. Get somebody to bake some bread or go buy some bread at the store, and then get a few mason jars. I like this cup size because it's easy for little hands to hold, and just fill it like halfway with cream. And we're going to be using our jars and shaking and churning butter out of our cream for some of our songs. So this will be like a manipulative. And I just make like 3 or 4 of them, like one per class. So maybe 4 jars for junior primary and 4 jars for senior primary. Some groups do like 1 jar for everybody, but I feel like it's just easier. And then I have shaker eggs for the kids who don't have a jar at that moment. Okay, so that's how we set up the room. So they come in, and now I'm just gonna start. Okay, so
Let's do it.
me. Welcome to singing time, everybody. Find your row. Pretend there was a chair there, and if there was a chair there, go sit where you would have sat if there was a chair. There's no chair. And so they're okay. And when you get to your chair, just kind of pat your knees with me and freeze, and pat your knees and freeze. Okay, I have some pictures all around our room. They're all taped around the room right now, all around. But they're right here right now. Okay, I wonder if you can find these pictures and put them in the right categories with me as I sing. You don't have to push a handcart, leave your family dear, or walk 1,000 miles or more to be a pioneer. You do have to have great courage, faith to conquer fear, or work with might for a cause that's right to be a pioneer. You found one. Let's see, where does that go? Maybe here. Okay.
Don't. Yes.
You don't have to push a handcart. I'm tapping on the shoulder to come and find one. Leave your family dear. Or walk 1,000 miles or more to be a pioneer. And children are coming and putting them up. You do have to have great courage, faith to conquer fear, or work with might for a cause that's right to be a pioneer. Anybody want to switch any of these around? You don't have to push a handcart, leave your family dear, or walk 1,000 miles or more to be a pioneer. Are they in the right order? Let's see.
Can you pause for a second and tell us what the pictures are? It's a little small, so just tell us.
So this is one of somebody leaving their family, pushing a handcart, and walking 1,000 miles or more. He is being really courageous. This child has faith. and they're working with might. So I just found these pictures on Google. And then the kids will come up and just kind of switch them. Oh, you don't have to push a hand cart, leave your family dear, or walk 1,000 miles or more to be a pioneer. You do have to have great courage, faith to conquer fear, and work with might for a cause that's right to be a pioneer. And once we got them all in the right order, okay, let's sing it one more time and see if it's all right how we want. Can you point with me to the picture? You don't have to push a hand cart, leave your family dear, or walk 1,000 miles or more to be a pioneer. You do have to have great courage, faith to conquer fear, and work with might for a cause that's right to be a pioneer. We did it. What? We didn't do these things to be pioneers, right? We can do these things. We don't do these things. What can you do to have courage like a pioneer? Raise your hand. What can you do to have courage? You can stand up for what you believe in. Yeah. You could say, I don't want to say that mean word, or go invite a friend. Yeah, that's so awesome. What about having faith to conquer fear? How can you do that like a pioneer? Yes, you can say a prayer when you're scared. Like if there's a storm and you're scared, you can say a prayer and you can have faith. You can ask for faith. How can you work with might? How can you work hard? Can you read your scriptures every day? Yeah, what else can you do?
Help my mom.
Yeah, that's such a good one. Okay, we can do all these things, and then we can sing it again or move on, depending on your time. Okay. Thanks for singing that part with me. Can you stand with your hips in a courageous pose like this? This is our dough position. We're going to be pioneers and march like pioneers. But first, we need our courageous pose. And this is dough. Sing dough, dough. And now follow my arms and voice, follow my voice for the different positions. I'm going to move my camera so you can see me, my whole body. Okay. Do. Your turn. Do. La. La. So. So. Do. Re. Do. So. Do. Okay, now your voice listens to my voice while I sing, but your hands follow my hands. Can your hands follow my hands? We are marching, ever marching. We are marching, ever marching. Marching onward, ever onward. We are pioneers. Wow, your hands followed so well. Okay, now this time, can you count how many times we're in our dough pose? You count with me. How many times do we do this? Ready? We are marching, ever marching. We are marching, ever marching. Marching onward, ever onward. We are pioneers. How many times did you count? I had one mistake, so you probably got one more.
7?
4 or 5, 7, something like that. Yeah, you're right. You're all right. However, how you count. Because I just wanted you to pay attention. Okay. And now, how many times do we tap our shoulders for our ray pose? Count with
Pause
me.
for just a second. I'm hearing that they can't see the top of you. So even though you're wanting to show your whole body, maybe just move it up a tiny bit. Okay, good. And then stand back as far as you can.
I'm on my knees right here.
Okay.
Okay. Let's do it again. And this time, count
Counting
my
the
shoulders.
rays. Okay.
We are marching, ever marching. We are marching, ever marching. Marching onward, ever onward. We are pioneers. How many times did we do this? Like
6,
4,
5.
Do it a couple times if they want to make sure. And then, did you guys notice my dough position getting a little bit lower and lower? That was kind of weird, huh? That's actually moving by half steps. Can you say that? Half steps.
Half steps.
Our voice gets lower and lower and lower all the way down to our so. Can we do that? Can you do that with me? Watch our half steps go down. It's like one note at a time. Okay, let's sing it. We are marching, ever marching. We are marching, ever marching. Marching onward, ever onward. We are pioneers. Show me your courageous pioneer pose. Good job. Okay. Thanks for singing that part with me. Now, when I say go, do these 4 things. Hold 4 fingers up and count them with me. 1, find a partner. Don't do it yet. 2, send one partner to grab one rhythm stick. 3, sit facing each other somewhere in the room. 4, have a staring contest if you finish those 3 things early. Okay? Ready, set, go. 20, 19, 18. And as I'm counting down, I'm looking to make sure that all the kids are finding partners. If there are some that are alone, I say freeze. Raise your hand if you don't have a partner yet. And then like 2 random kids will raise their hand. I'll put those together. Or I'll say teachers, help facilitate this if it's junior primary. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay. Can you guys see me on the ground here? Let's see. You guys see me here like this and hear me?
I can see you.
Okay. All right, so you have 1 rhythm stick and we're sitting facing our partners and we made it. Okay, now we're gonna sing You Don't Have to Push a Hand Card and move our rhythm stick back and forth to the beat. And whoever is on the word B gets to keep the stick. Okay, right, let's do it together. You don't have to push a hand card, leave your family dear, or walk 1,000 miles or more to be a pioneer. Freeze. Hold your stick in the air if you have it. Okay, if you don't have a stick in the air, look around the room and go find another partner. Ready, set, go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Not everyone's ready, but I'm starting anyway. We do have to have great courage, faith to conquer fear, or work with might for a cause that's right to be a pioneer. Oh, my friend had the stick. Now I have to run. And we do that a couple times. If you feel comfortable in your primary, you can do the stick pull game and pull them over on Be a Pioneer and talk about the stick pull and how they liked to play that game. Sometimes in dresses it's a little weird, but my primary really likes to do it. And you can just keep switching partners and it's super fun. Okay, now everyone sit, give your rhythm stick to your teacher and then come sit in a circle. Remember, we don't have chairs today. So we're all in a circle now. Everyone pretend to shake a jar of cream. I have a real jar, but can you pretend to shake this? Shake, freeze. Shake, freeze. Now watch my pattern. Shake, 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 pass. Can you do that with me? Shake your jar. Shake, 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 pass. Oh, good. Now let's point to who we're passing to with our imaginary jar. Shake, 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 pass. And then I go around and make sure everybody's pointing the same direction. Another thing, if you have a big group in your primary, is you can do class circles and have 1 jar per class. If you have like 40 kids. So you can have the classes sit in a circle instead of 1 giant circle. Or you could do both. Okay. Now, I'm going to sing it once and we're going to add a jar of cream. We're going to add my jar. I'm going to pass it. Okay? And then you keep passing it. Little pioneer children gathering berries for food. Pass. See the pioneer children hunting chips for wood. Pass. Gladly helping each other. Merry and happy were they. Walking along, moving along on their way. Freeze. Oh, you have the jar. Shake it. Okay, let's sing it again and go and keep going the same direction. Don't switch directions until you've gotten around the circle, because I've done that before. And then the same kids got it and the other half didn't get it. And they were like, what?
So just to clarify, you have one jar right now.
You have one jar
So
right now.
most kids are waiting and watching, and then until when they get the jar. Okay.
Once we get around the whole circle once, I'm gonna say, let's add some more jars. Okay. And so then I'll have a teacher kind of just put a jar in there, and then once they've got those jars going, anybody who doesn't have anything has an egg, and senior primary likes this so that everybody can shake, shake, pass, pick up, shake, 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 pass, pick up, shake, shake. And it gets really fun. And then you can start going, okay, let's switch directions on food or wood, on the rhyming words. And you can also turn it into a game where if they're holding the jar on the word way, they go into in the middle of the circle and create a new circle and start passing in that circle. And if you have a lot of circles going, so you can just do this over and over, like they love this. You can have a round and have one circle start and then the other circle. So I would go, little pioneer children gathering berries for food, pass. And at this point, I'd leave the circle if I was going to do it in a round. I'd leave the circle and I would say, you start, and then you start, and go and just have the circle start and keep going. And the pianist just goes, and it's really fun. Okay, it's because the song's in a round. On their way. Oh, thank you for singing with me. Can you guys pass your jars? Bring your jars up to the front and give your eggs back to your teacher. Teachers have like a sack of the manipulatives of the day. So they are my go-to. Okay. Oh, actually, this was my transition. Stay in the circle and hold your egg in the air. This is what it was. This is better. Hold it in the air. Teachers, come and collect them. Thank you. When your egg is gone, stand up and march in place. That's what we were doing.
And you sing it again.
Yeah, and we sing it again. Yeah.
Really?
Okay. Yes. And now we're standing up and marching in place. Okay, freeze. Now let's march to a new song. Listen for the word that you hear the most times. So we're going to march in place, even though we're still in a giant circle. Pioneer children sang as they walked and walked and walked and walked. Pioneer children sang as they walked and walked and walked and walked. They washed at streams and worked and played. Sundays they camped and read and prayed. Week after week they sang as they walked and walked and walked and walked and walked. What word did you hear a lot? Yeah, walked. They sure walked a lot. They walked like so many miles, and I would look up how many miles. I forgot to. They walked so many miles across the plains. What else did they do? Let's listen for 3 things they did during the week. And now let's turn and march in a circle as we listen. Hint, the words are words we step on. Those are the things that they do. Okay, ready? Pioneer children sang as they walked and walked and walked and walked. Pioneer children sang as they walked and walked and walked and walked. They washed at streams and worked and played. Sundays they camped and read and prayed. Week after week they sang as they walked and walked and walked and walked and walked. What did you hear that they do? What was one thing?
Washed in streams.
Streams, and they worked. And then maybe they didn't hear them all, so we do them again until they hear the 3 things. What do they do on Sundays? Let's listen for 3 things they did on Sundays. And let's go this way this time. Pioneer children sang as they walked and walked and walked. Things walking to place as they kept read and prayed. And we find all those things. Walked and walked. Sing it a bunch of times. Then let's sing it again. And I'm going to say switch and clap my hands. And then you have to turn around and walk the other way. And then turn around and walk this way. Pioneer children sang as they walked and walked and walked and walked. Switch. Pioneer children sang as they walked and walked and walked and walked. Switch. They washed at streams and worked and played. Switch. Sundays they came, read and prayed. Switch. Week after week they sang as they walked and walked and walked and walked. Switch and walked. Switch. Freeze.
And then everyone's
Lots of
catching their breath.
Okay. Thank you for singing that song with me. And at that point, you probably are out of time in a Pioneer Day. So just choose what you want to do. I'm going to share one more song with you today. So let's go back to our chairs. And teachers, when you see a child folding their arms and reverent at their chair or at their spot on the floor, pass them a scarf. Okay. And this is the new song that I have to have my sheet music on. I don't know if I can follow yet. Let's do some scarf actions. Okay, wave your scarf with me in a big circle and freeze. And wave it in the circle this way and freeze. And now hold one end and pull with me. Pull your hand cart and sail the ocean. Okay, let's sing. Your scarf follows my scarf. Ready? Some pioneers pulled hand carts or sailed the ocean blue. When times were hard, they worked and prayed. Their courage saw them through. The Lord needs pioneers today. There's much that I can do. I'll work and pray and follow him. I'm a pioneer too. Okay. Let's do it one more time. Everybody hold your scarves and freeze and shake and shake and shake and freeze. And shake and shake and shake and freeze. Get ready to pull your hand cart. When pioneers pulled hand carts or sailed the ocean blue, when times were hard, they worked and prayed. Their courage saw them through. The Lord needs pioneers today. There's much that I can do. I'll work and pray and follow him. I'm a pioneer too. And then we do it again a couple times. Okay, any leaders want to come up and show that just did this scarf pattern really well? Then I go and stand in the back. This is a Charlotte thing. I go stand in the back and do the pattern while the cute kids do it up front and follow me. And the whole junior primary usually gets up to do that. Okay, let me just slowly do the scarf pattern so you can see it. So hold hand carts, sail, so waves. Times were hard. They worked, prayed, and then our dough pose. I'm just doing it holding a scarf. You could do it without a scarf if you don't want to pass out scarves. And then, but the thing about the scarf is you can do the beat. So we could do the 2 circles. The Lord ups pioneers today. There's much that I can do. And it just flows with the beat so well. I'll work and pray and toss it up, follow him, because he's in the head. I'm a pioneer too, or you can put it on your head for a bonnet. I'm a pioneer.
Or a scarf.
Yeah.
Okay. I love that.
Okay, now one more activity for I'm a Pioneer too that I do a different week. So you need 2 rhythm sticks and an egg shaker. And the kids don't have them out yet. All right. Let me move this out of the way. So on the board I've got this rhythm and this rhythm. This is my stick rhythm. Can you clap your hands with me like you have a stick? Tee, tee. You clap. Tee, tee. This is my egg shaker rhythm. Ta, tee. Ta, tee. Can you do that? Tati. Good job. I have both of these rhythms in my song. Can you count how many times I shake my egg while I do it? Some pioneers pulled hand carts or sailed the ocean blue. When times were hard, they worked and prayed, their courage saw them through. The Lord needs pioneers today. There's much that I can do. I'll work and pray and follow him. I'm a pioneer too. How many times did I shake my eggs? 5. Let's do it again. Let's count. Okay?
And just to remind those who maybe just joined in, you're sitting on the floor in a circle, right?
Yes. Yep.
So it's really easy to switch back and forth because these items are just on the floor.
Right. So I guess I'll clarify. This is a different day. You would not.
Oh, okay. Not necessarily.
Because we don't have 45 minutes of stuff. This is like 45 minutes of stuff. So this is like 2 full singing times. And the ones that I was sitting in the circle, you would definitely want to do those on Pioneer Day with your creaming your butter and your jars and stuff. But this is like a different day, but still a Pioneer song. Or you could do it today and sit in rows. I would sit in rows for this so they could all see me at the front. Thanks, Laura. Okay, so how many times did I do it with my egg? Let's check again. Some pioneers pulled hand carts or sailed the ocean blue. When times were hard, they worked and prayed, their courage saw them through. The Lord needs pioneers today. There's much that I can do. I'll work and pray and follow him. I'm a pioneer too. Okay, I didn't count. What did you count to?
I think I got 4.
Got 4.
Or 5.
Yeah. Point is not to have the right answer. It's to pay attention to when it's
and the
really,
words. Mm-hmm.
And in primary too, since it doesn't matter, you know, it's not a competition. Oh, I guessed 4, but it was actually 5. So it's actually good to not confirm the answer. Because you don't want a kid to say, but I got 7, I must have counted bad, or I'm not a good singer, or I'm not a good listener. You don't really have to confirm how many times it was unless you do it together and you're all counting at the same time, and then you're sure everybody's on the same thing. So that's kind of intentional that I didn't count it or confirm it. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now you get an egg, and can you shake on the eggs with me this time? We'll do it again. Shake. And then I'll have them do it again, and I'll have them clap, and then egg. Clap with me on all the words except the egg words. I did just write this rhythm for simplicity, but it's easier to just tap all the words than know which ones are dun dun and dun dun da 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 and dun dun. We're pointing out the dun dun. Okay, now you clap your hands and do the stick rhythm with me. Okay. Some pioneers pulled hand carts or sailed the ocean blue. When times were hard, they worked and prayed, their courage saw them through. The Lord needs pioneers today. There's much that I can do. I'll work and pray and follow him. I'm a pioneer too. And then you can give them sticks and they can switch between the two. And it's all right. When you are, thank you for singing with me today. Please pass your sticks and your eggs to your teacher. Fold your arms, listen to the piano, look at your teacher, and you can go to class. Thank you. Okay.
That was so much. We were so fed and so many ideas. I have so many things I want to say, but the first thing overall, you think of so many details. And I have Lindsay's lesson plan in front of me because she shared it with me so I could follow along. And we'll get a handout that you all can have. But there are so many details in there. You thought of everything. Just as an example, in that last song, rather than, okay, everybody dive in, here are your rhythm sticks and your egg shakers. First, they're just using their hands. Then you added just the egg shaker. Then you added their hands and the egg shaker. Then you added the eggs and the sticks. Like it just everything builds. And so they can be successful because, and it also gives you an excuse to sing the song several times. So just so much good teaching. Charla says, this is such a fun singing time. Active movement for every song, yet we got to think and we were challenged. I love it, and they will too. I loved that you were constantly singing, so we got to hear the songs over and over. So lots of amazing ideas here. Let's pull out some specific things that you do. First of all, using the word freeze. Tell us about that.
Yes, kids respond to that word. My primary response to it, and you say it, freeze, and then you freeze with your whole body. And if they don't, freeze, just repeat it and
Wait.
stop like a statue. And that gives you a second if things are a little chaotic when you're passing things out or changing positions, which is always really exciting, especially with no chairs in the room. It gives you their full attention.
Love it.
Yeah.
Any other things that you use to help? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, there's one thing that I remembered. So when you're using a lot of manipulatives, you can, it's a lot of primary teachers are hard. That would be very scary to hand them 2 sticks and an egg and a scarf. Like, it's just like, it's a lot. And you think, oh, what if they bash somebody on the head with it? Or, they can come up with so many things that they can do. So I just say, teachers, as always, when we're passing out manipulatives, I just say it like maybe in January a couple times, and then they get it for the rest of the year. But I say, teachers, if you notice one of your class members is using the manipulative inappropriately, you can just take it, no questions asked, no conversation, no warning. And you just take it. And then the child can get it back next time or in a couple of minutes when they calm their body down. But they don't have to be afraid the teachers don't have to be afraid to just step in and take it. And I've taken a couple myself, even a Sunbeam on the front row, if they're just like going like this and trying to get their partner, I just grab it.
And you can do it with love. You just hold out your hand, and then I love to give them the opportunity again. And they're ready. They're usually ready.
And then I'll give it back, and there's no words, there's no shaming, but they're just like, oh yeah, I didn't do what I was supposed to. And so, and they don't want to miss out on the fun when.
Right. Okay, we have a comment from Charla. She says, waiting for the children to freeze is actually allowing their brain to adjust to a change. It is a merciful, wonderful kindness to the children.
Thank you. That is amazing.
I love that. Anything else that you use with your primary kids to get their attention when you're doing something like this and there may be a moment of chaos and they need to all come back?
Yes. So 2 things. I'll either do a simple rhythm that they echo, like, and they'll echo it. And it's important I do it with my or my mouth.
With your mouth.
I'm a choir director, so we learned this. Love to talk, they love to sing, keep singing. Use your mouth, because then they use their mouth back to you. So and then they have to breathe after that to say something else, and that in that space where they're breathing to do something, you say freeze, or you say follow me, give them something to do. The second thing I like to do, it's a more primary themed. I'll sing reverently, and then they'll go quietly. So it's another way for them to use.
Ready to listen. Love it.
Trying to listen to me reverently.
Yeah, that's good. Your flow and your transitions are so smooth. And one thing I noticed in your lesson plan is you thought of them all. I'm actually really glad in between the one where you were marching in a circle and then the Pioneer song where they had actions, you redid that transition because you thought it out and it was so perfect. Like, we're going to go in from this movement in our body to this movement in our body. And so what's a transition that I can do that helps them prepare for that? And you thought of all of those.
Those transitions, I don't really think of them every week like that because they're not always chaotic activity to chaotic activity. But on a day like this where there's no chairs and where we have, high energy from the activities themselves, it's really good to think about those moments.
Mm-hmm.
Lose your primary very, very quickly and be like, oh, this was so fun. And I really wanted to do this, but it looks like we're too crazy, so we can't. So you don't have to cancel things. You just have to think about it a little bit before and say, what would they do?
And you shared so many great ideas. Thank you so much. I love how you demonstrated so many of the things that you were going to do before you handed them the jar. They had so many opportunities to watch and get it into their bodies before they had to do it with the item. Like with the jars, it was only one jar. Then you added more. Then you added egg shakers. So really good.
Yeah, and then they get to listen to the song a lot. And I notice when I'm learning a song, I can't do the full pattern and everything right from the get-go. You know, we have to practice it a few times. So if we have to practice it a few times, they're going to have to. So think about that layering. And that will just give you your repetitions, because that can be a struggle to think, okay, how am I going to do this differently? How am I going to do this differently? You know, how are we going to sing this 5 times with this scarf pattern? You can say, oh, okay, we'll just do this circles with me, or now
Mm-hmm.
add this. So just think about how you can break it down.
Yeah, that's great. I love that you said that just builds in the repetitions, thinking about building it. Because if you just from the beginning said, okay, here's your scarf, let's do it, and then you're like, we'll
Now
sing
what?
it once now. Two things that were in the comments that I just want to address, and then we'll kind of wrap up here. But one is Catherine Newton, who always has amazing ideas, says she likes to use bandanas for Pioneer Day. So
Oh,
that's
that's
cute.
good.
So if you have access to that, and she can tell them to, you said at the end you could put it on your head. So she can tell them make a bonnet, make a neckerchief, or an apron.
Yeah.
So creative. Another comment we had, now I love seeing that you're using your skills and your abilities as a music teacher, but someone said, I don't think I could handle that solfege. That's the do, re, the body movements.
Oh,
Kids
right.
need things in their body. So that's great. But if that's too much, you could do something like a melody map. I just pulled one up that I had made for that. We are marching, ever marching. We are marching, ever marching. And what's the
Yeah.
same about the blue? Well, they're the same notes, and this is probably backwards, but I'll share this if I haven't already. And so there's other ways to help them understand the notes, and that's a great one, what you did, but you could do
You don't
melody map
have
too.
word solfege. Just say follow with me, and they'll just move their bodies up and down. And this is
Right.
just the pattern. It's just a body rhythm.
Yeah, that's such a cool idea. And again, you said all these ideas you could use over multiple weeks. And if you're just doing one Pioneer song one Sunday, that's awesome. Or you could do a full-blown Pioneer Day, singing time.
Yes.
So awesome. Well, if anyone has any questions after the fact, we'll leave this live up. We'll also plan to put it on YouTube because Facebook has decided to delete these after 30 days. So,
Oh no.
so we want to save this because there's so many awesome ideas. Anything else you want to tell us?
I think that covered it. I'll in the comments if I think of something. But thanks so much for having me. This was so
Thank you. Thank you for your time and preparation and for giving so much to today and to this group. We have so many people in this group willing to give. So thank you all. And thank you, Lindsey.
thanks. Have a good day, guys. Happy Pioneer Day.
Bye.
Bye.